Hello and welcome to another episode of Kia Electric News. In case you missed them, this week I did 3 videos. The first one was a news update on Kia and Hyundai's 3750 grant, a new Kia app for Android and the impending end of Kia Connect. Wednesday I released an episode on the US built Ioniq 5 urgent recall for battery fire risk and a TSB for the US built Ioniq 9s that had loose seating controls. Friday I released an episode on the detailed release notes I've discovered for the Gen 5W and CCNC April 2025 infotainment updates that for the first time has a detailed list of changes. I go through the more interesting changes in the video. Yeah, I know it's geeky, but it just is. Talking of the new Kia app, a new version 1.08 of the Kia app was released for iOS this week. I've spotted no changes. If you spot anything, can you please let me know in the comments. Whilst we're talking about the Kia app, here is one tip that I get asked a lot. Where have all the charging settings gone? This is where to find them. Open the Kia app, press Control tab, press the EV tab or sub tab, press the settings cog. This is where you will find charging scheduler, target charge level, vehicle to load usage limit and AC charging current. Autoblog has spotted the forthcoming EV4 hatchback full GT testing in Europe. They say the EV4 dual motor variants will offer between 430 and 480 horsepower and hit 62 miles an hour in under 4 seconds. But there's probably a good reason for the power cap. If the EV6 GT were as extreme as the Ioniq 5N, it would require a similar price, and that's especially risky in the current market. At Hyundai, the Ioniq 5M models are statement vehicles meant to grab attention and act as a sort of halo for electric performance. That's why the company told Australian media that it doesn't care whether the car sells or not. With the EV4, which is available as both a hatchback and sedan, Kia is seemingly planning to offer an even more restrained but still sporty take on the electric recipe, for a better price I guess. This week Kia released a press release about how Kia EV4 proves endurance with industry-leading battery and durability testing. Kia continues to raise the bar for EV endurance for standard performance models with the EV4. The company's latest all-electric compact model, designed with durability in mind, the EV4 features innovations that ensure stable performance over long distances, challenging climates and extended use. The EV4's endurance can mostly be attributed to Kia's 4th generation battery system. The system combines advanced thermal management with optimized coolant distribution over the cell units. These enhancements ensure that the battery operates within safe temperature levels, even under high stress conditions. By doing so, the system ultimately extends battery life and maintains consistent performance. Following comprehensive endurance trials, including a 110,000 kilometer European road durability test and a 10,000 kilometer Nürburgring campaign simulating 90 to 95% of the model's maximum performance output, the EV4 showed minimal wear and sustained battery efficiency. Repeated hypercharging sessions between laps at the Nürburgring added to the potential strain on the battery system. However, the EV4 maintained impressive performance throughout. German engineers confirmed a battery state of health of 95% after 10,000 kilometers of track testing and 110,000 kilometers road testing. It's not bad, I suppose. Kia's extensive endurance testing program proves the EV4 as a reliable, high-endurance EV for customers looking for confidence during long-term ownership. On top of its battery performance, the EV4 benefits from Regen braking. The system improves long-term efficiency by reducing battery strain and recapturing up to 25% of energy during deceleration. Thanks to its robust design and intelligent energy management, the EV4 is guaranteed to retain at least 70% of its battery capacity after 160,000 kilometers driven, or 8 years of regular use. This week Kia Worldwide released a new Kia EV5 Design film, which I've not seen before. This is pretty much how the EU version will look. The blurb says this: the Kia EV5, a welcoming space designed for a life in motion across different seasons. Bold yet refined designs that coexist to amplify its presence and enhance every experience. The Kia EV5, your home away from home. Over the last few weeks I've come across a few reports of e-Niros not keeping their Regen settings after the recent July Maps and Infotainment update. As I understand it, the word from Kia UK is that a head unit reset or reboot should clear the problem. A link to my video on how to do this on the EV6 is above. I will also put a link in the description along with a similar video for the e-Niro, which I did 5 years ago. Korean car blog reports that the new facelifted Ioniq 6 and 6N line has gone on sale in Korea. The range figures are lower because they are based on the Korean test cycle, which works out lower than the WLTP, but may be more accurate. The Ioniq 6 long-range two-wheel drive now boasts Korea's longest single-charge driving range of 562 kilometers or 349 miles, thanks to its 84 kWh fourth-generation battery and class-leading 0.21 drag coefficients. The standard range model is powered by a 63 kWh battery, delivering 437 kilometers or 271 miles of range, which is 70 kilometers or 43 miles more than previous version. Both models support the usual 350 kW ultra-fast charging, capable of recharging from 10 to 80% in just 18 minutes. These numbers place the Ioniq 6 at the forefront of efficient electric sedans, competing directly with Tesla Model 3 and Polestar 2. The updated Ioniq 6 introduces a host of segment-first innovations. Air conditioning occupancy detection, that's new. Adjust cooling based on where passengers sit, saving energy. Smooth mode minimises motion sickness with gradual acceleration and braking. Smart Regen System 3 uses navigation and driving data to automatically adjust regen braking, which I've got in the EV3. Hyundai also refined the suspension and soundproofing by expanding sound-absorbing materials around the rear motor, introducing optimized low-noise tyres, upgrading frequency-sensitive shock absorbers for improved ride comfort. Safety and convenience come standard with features such as pedal misoperation safety assist, or PMSA, not PMSL. I've seen that on the video before, I knew they were working on it. Lane following assist 2, steering wheel grip detection, and available forward collision avoidance assist 2 and driver monitoring system. The Ioniq 6 retains its electrified streamliner design, further enhancing its aerodynamics with dual motion active air flaps, ducktail spoiler, aero wheels. The N-line trim brings a sportier edge with a 20-inch wheels, exclusive bumpers and a black-red interior theme. It also offers exclusive paint finishes like Ultimate Red Metallic and Aero Silver Metallic. Dimensions for the standard and the N-line: length 4925, N-line 4935, width 1880 for both, height 1495 for both, wheelbase 2950 for both. Powertrain options: standard range two-wheel drive, 125 kilowatt motors, 168 horsepower. Long range two-wheel drive is 168 kilowatt hour, 225 horsepower. Long range four-wheel drive, 239 kilowatt hour or 320 horsepower. Pricing: the Ioniq 6's pricing post-tax benefit before subsidies is as follows. Standard range 63 kWh battery is 48.56 million won, or 35,450 or 32,515 euros. The exclusive trim is 50.95 million won, $37,200 or 34,135 euros. The prestige trim is 55.53 million won, $40,540 or 37,205 euros. Long range two-wheel drive E-Elite, 50.64 million won or $37,000 or 33,930 euros. The exclusive trim is 55.15 million won, which is $40,330 or 37,050 euros. The exclusive N-line trim is 57.45 million won, $42,010, 38,490 euros, and the prestige is 59.73 million won or $43,670 and 39,950 euros. The prestige N-line is 61.32 million won, $44,860 or 41,070 euros. This week I spotted yet another EU-UK update for the facelifted EV6. Description: OTA software update for PowerNet Domain Controller or PDC. Dear owners, an OTA update for the PowerNet Domain Controller or PDC will be available shortly. This update applies to some EV6 PE variants. This over-the-air software update prevents the false intermittent high voltage battery warning lights from being displayed in the instrument cluster. Please note that depending on the release batch, this OTA update may not be immediately available for your vehicle and will instead be deployed after the specified date. So I guess you get it when you get it. There is also a new US recall for the Genesis GB60 and G90. Details as follows. Hyundai Motor America is recalling certain Genesis 2023 to 2025 G90 and V60s. This is due to a software error. The instrument panel display may fail. As such, these vehicles fail to comply with the requirements of Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard number 101, controls and displays. Remedy: the instrument panel display software will be updated over the air or by a dealer free of charge. Only the notification letters are expected to be mailed by September the 15th, 2025. Hyundai's number for this recall is 027G. The NHTSA recall report says 4,754 vehicles are affected, which is 100% of the production. Upon vehicle startup, the instrument panel or IP cluster displays in the subject vehicles may be temporarily blank due to erroneous software logic. Under these conditions, the subject vehicles do not meet certain requirements set forth in Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard or FMVSS number 101. An inoperative IP cluster image could mask essential gauges such as the speedometer, fuel gauge and certain on-screen notifications associated with motive powertrain, increasing the risk of a crash. The document also shows that the display cluster is manufactured by LG Electronics. The IP cluster display software update was implemented as a production running change from April 4, 2024 and April 16, 2025 for G90 and GB60 vehicles respectively. I would guess that this update will appear on OTA for Genesis in the EU and UK. This bug is very similar to the one on the EV9 recall from last year. On the subject of the original pre-facelift EV6, do some Mark 1 EV6s have 84 kWh batteries? Well, I have some news. I've had a discussion in the comments over the last few days with Chris Davis. Chris is one of the last pre-facelift EV6s produced, which was an MY24. We were discussing how to get the best efficiency. It turns out he has achieved a range of 378 miles, which is bloody excellent, without even trying to hypermile, using zero regen and turning on regen using the paddles when he needed to. He'd achieved a long-term average over 1,300 miles at 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour. If his EV6 had a 77.4 kilowatt hour battery, then 74 kilowatt hours would be usable. If you do the calculation, then 4.5 by 74 is 333, which is the wrong answer. If you multiply 4.5 by 84 kilowatt hours, then you get 378, which is the right answer. I then did some Googling and apparently it turns out some MY24s had the new 84 kilowatt hour battery. I've never heard of this and don't remember seeing any official press release on this. Does anyone else with an EV6 MY24 pre-facelift think they have the bigger 84 kWh battery? Let me know in the comments. If this is true, then this would make the EV6 MY24s more sought after. And if I was buying another one, I'd go after one of them. Kia has announced 2025 second quarter business results. Kia posts record quarterly revenue of 29.35 trillion won in quarter 2, up 6.5% year on year. Quarter 2 operating profit at 2.77 trillion won, down 24.1% year on year. Operating profit margin of 9.4%. Quarter 2 global sales of 888 units, marking highest ever quarterly sales, up 2.5% year on year. Strong HEV growth, which is hybrid electric vehicles, demand led to a 14% increase in electrified model sales to 185,000 units. Kia is to sustain global sales momentum with a full EV lineup, new HEV models and entry to new segments. Genesis Motor Europe has appointed Peter Kronsnabel as a new managing director. He succeeds Xavier Martinet, who has served as interim managing director in addition to his role as president and CEO of Hyundai Motor Europe. Kronsnabel will be leading the team at the brand's European headquarters in Frankfurt, Germany. Kronsnabel brings over 30 years of commercial and strategic leadership from the automotive industry, having held a variety of senior roles at BMW Group across regional management, marketing, sales and business development. Most recently, he served as the Vice President of Market Development and Special Sales since 2021, leading responsibility for BMW Group's emerging markets. Korea Herald reports that Hyundai Motor CEO says tariff deal removes uncertainties in US operations. Hyundai Motor Company CEO Jose Munoz said Thursday that the new tariff agreement between South Korea and the United States removes uncertainties, enabling the business to move forward in predictable frameworks. This agreement ensures that the partnership between Korea and the US will continue flourishing with predictable frameworks that benefit workers and communities in both nations, the CEO wrote in a post on LinkedIn. The remark came hours after Korea and the US reached a new trade agreement imposing a 15% tariff on Korean vehicle exports to the US, down from the 25% tariff that had been in effect since April the 3rd. He said the new tariff arrangement supports Hyundai Motor Group, the automaker's parent company, in its efforts to strengthen ties between Korea's technology base and the US manufacturing network. They had been 0% in the previous traded deal though, so Hyundai Group is losing out. The agreement reinforces Hyundai Motor Group's $21 billion US investment strategy and our commitment to creating more than 100,000 direct and indirect American jobs, he said. This framework reinforces our localization strategy whilst maintaining the seamless collaboration between our Korean design, engineering and manufacturing teams and our American manufacturing operations. Although Hyundai Motor produced over 200,000 vehicles in the US during the first half of 2025, the higher tariff impacted the business significantly, as more than half of its US sales still rely on imports from Korea. According to the company, the 25% tariff led to an estimated 828.2 billion won in operational losses during the second quarter, contributing to a 15.8% year-on-year decline in operating profit to 3.6 trillion won. As a result, the company has lost its edge over Japanese and European automakers because of the loss of the 0% trade deal, which had faced a 2.5% tariff in the US but are now subject to the same 15% rate under their own trade deals. But Mercedes has pulled out of America, so maybe it's an opportunity. And finally, Kia and its global partner, the Ocean Cleanup, in collaboration with Guatemala's Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources and other partners, are stopping one of the world's largest plastic pollution flows carried by the Motagua River and its tributary, the Las Vacas River, from reaching the oceans. Each year, an estimated 20,000 tonnes of trash flow through the Las Vacas Motagua rivers into the Caribbean Sea, polluting marine ecosystems and affecting coastal communities in Guatemala and neighbouring countries like Honduras. To overcome this challenge, the Ocean Cleanup, supported by Kia, has deployed two of its innovative floating trash capture systems, Interceptor 006 in the Las Vacas River and more recently Interceptor 021 in the lower Motagua Basin. The systems are designed to capture and remove plastic before it reaches the ocean. Barriers concentrate waste from the river's current and guide it to an extraction area where it is removed and processed. Kia's partnership with the Ocean Cleanup was formed in 2022 and aligns with the brand's broader sustainability goals. Kia support as a global mission partner has helped the Ocean Cleanup remove nearly 500,000 kilograms of plastic from the world's largest accumulation of floating waste, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which has an estimated surface area of 1.6 billion square kilometres. As upgrades to the ocean collection systems and operations continue, the latest strategic joint project focuses on preventing plastic pollution from ever reaching the world's oceans. The installation of Interceptor 021 in El Quetzalito near Puerto Barrios serves as a last line of defence before the waste reaches the sea. At 158 metres long, it is the largest system installed by the Ocean Cleanup to date, strengthening the ambitious mission of restoring the Gulf of Honduras, one of the most biodiverse marine areas in the Caribbean, and improving the lives of those affected by the pollution. In Las Vacas and El Quetzalito, 23,354 tonnes of waste have been extracted to date, preventing further pollution of the Gulf of Honduras. Kia has used recycled discarded ocean plastic in a limited edition trunk liner for its EV3. The brand has also been consistently integrating other recycled plastics and eco-friendly materials into its latest models. This includes the flagship all-electric SUV, the EV9, which utilises recycled fishing nets in its interior carpet and recycled plastic bottles in its seat fabric. Anyway, that's all for this week. Thanks for all the comments, likes and welcome new subscribers. Massive thanks to all my channel members for your invaluable financial support. Welcome new channel members Michael Damiani and Sancho Spinola. Also welcome back Sven Jansen, who has rejoined. If you become a channel member for just a few pounds a month, you will get early ad-free access to all my videos and some video exclusives. If you watch my videos regularly, please consider hitting the subscribe button to never miss an episode. Thank you for watching.